We're live, Bruno. You don't care, do you? It's okay. Good morning. How are you guys doing? A little bit of a different time today. My schedule's rearranging. I'm trying to shift when I do things, so let me know if this time works for you. I may try a different time this week again. See what works best. But good morning. All right. I'm going to put you down so I can get working, okay? I made you up. I've got some pillows back there for you. Go ahead. Go ahead. All right. Okay, I'm here and the plan for today. So, I'm thinking I may want to mess with this interfacing, interlining structural situation just a tidbit. And I still have some hand stitching to do. And I've decided that the hand stitching is a little on the boring side to do live for the moment. Just for the moment. And so I'm going to do the part that I'm most nervous about doing live, the patterning. Because like I said, this is a set, kind of a salt and pepper set. And normally when I have multiples, I do them all at the same time because you can batch step things and get through the process a lot more efficiently. But when I'm figuring things out, I like to mess it up on one as opposed to all of them. So I'm not saying that I messed up, but I'm saying these are sisters, not twins. So there's a few tweaks that I want to make to the second garment. And I'm going to start with this pattern and just make some tweaks. Which tweaks? I want to make it, this one, I wanted below the shoulder line. I wanted here. The next one, I want above the shoulder line. So it's here. So it's cartoonily eating the person wearing it. So I'm going to raise this whole, I'm going to keep the waistline right where it's at. Technically it's about an inch low and not where it belongs, but I'm going to keep the waistline where it belongs, and I'm going to raise the neckline a whole 4 inches. Yeah, about 4 inches. And I think I may make the collars, I might keep it the same size. I might, but I have wiggle room. So that's the plan for today. I'm going to adjust this pattern to get my second bodice caught up to where I'm here with this one. So hope that makes sense. Hi, Bruno. You ready? Yeah, you are, aren't you? Good morning, Big Bob's Props. Oh, it's good afternoon to you. Well, good afternoon to you. Ah! I think he's discovered that if he knocks my elbows while I'm eating and drinking, that I make a spill or a mess, that he helps me clean up. So my elbow's been getting bumped a little bit lately. Will Connors, hello, welcome, Will Connors. And Dan does junk. Morning, wow, I didn't think you meant this early. Well, it's only afternoon to Big Bob's Props, so yeah, no, I have to, it's either kind of like early in my schedule or kind of late in my schedule. It's not, I have a lot in my day, so I'm working on it. I'm figuring out what a regular time would work. But yeah, so we're here. We're patterning today. I have my patterns. You guys cannot see my table at all, but you guys are adjustable. So let me, hi Bruno, gonna be the model. Okay. And just in case you guys don't know, see that little black spot right there? That's Spooky. Next to the golden pillows that you can't see. Anyways, he's over here with us today, saying hi. Okay. You're in the right spot. I'm just thinking of where I am going to get my paper out so that I'm not making a big old mess. Okay. This Frankenstein mess right here is my previous pattern. So I want to keep the cone going. What do I mean by the cone? That, let me fold this in half so it's not so, let's see, it's curling. I should just iron it flat, but, so the cone. This is a curved surface, and this is a curved surface, and it's going straight out. And so as I extend this part, I want to have it more here as opposed to just going straight out this way. I want to keep the cone going and radiating. Yeah. Let me trace when it's not so curly, and then we can start working. Okay. I am using dark paper because normally I use butcher paper, but that's bright and white and it's hard to read on camera. So we have painter's paper today. The stuff that you buy at like Home Depot to put around your house while you're painting it. Spray. Yeah. It's paper. Heavy objects. I will use tape and tape makes great weights. Okay. Does this fit? Yes, it does. Okay. Will it fit when I'm done with it? That's another question. Because I am, oh, well, I'll just tape on pieces. This is my pattern. I'm figuring it out. Okay, sorry if I push any buttons. I'm going on to my keyboard, even though I should just give myself a little more space. That's not marker. And stitch. It's not a straight edge. A little crazy talking to myself in front of people, but the top edge is not a straight edge. There's a curve to it. Oh, this pen is drying out. I've used it a lot. Question, Dan. Is using wire in that kind of an outfit more of a last resort? Like, do you try to avoid using it when you can? Well, boning's like a long flat wire, so people wire things all the time. And it's not that I'm avoiding wire, it's that I can get, the wire's not going to make it sharper. Honestly, redoing this and really pressing the buckram and doing a second layer of buckram is going to give me a nice clean edge. It's going to give me a sharper surface to hold on to. I get what you're saying with wire, and buckram and wire work really well together. That's why they use it in hats. Like, buckrams the brim and the wire goes on, like is sewn in, usually hidden under a ribbon. So it's not avoiding wire, and I'm not opposed to it, but I think there's another way I can do before I start adding wire. But when you start adding wire, then you have to think about rusting. Spoofy, is that you? I thought I heard the cat. But yeah, you don't want things to rust. Not that this is going to be a particularly overworn and washed garment. So I'm not, Bruno, don't cry right now, please. Thank you. You can come here, but don't cry. So I'm not really super worried about washability. So like, I'm not opposed to using wire, but wire is going to get bent and then it's going to hold that crimp or shape, and it's not like foam would be more like I think of what the foam, like the heavy, really good stuff, that would be perfect, and you can sew into it. It's easier to sew into than using actual velvet. But there's so many different ways to approach the problem. Who's to say which one's right or wrong? I think it more is dependent on what materials and skills and things, the way your brain's thinking that day. But very good question. Using wire is not a last resort. It is a tool in the toolbox. It's not the one I'm going for right away with my cartoony kind of feel, but I'm not opposed to it. Dang nabbit, I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. Yeah, I really need to pay attention to what I'm doing. Let me do this the right way. It's okay, I'm only live. So I don't have a clean center back line because while I was slashing and spreading and doing all these pattern manipulations, I got a nice big chunk that's, anyways, it's a little off, so it doesn't fold as nicely on the center back seam as I want to because I have it Frankenstein together. It's perfectly taped here, and it's perfectly overlap taped here by a different amount. But I'm going to mark my center. Oh, my notcher, I had it. Is it here? Is it here? Freaking love my notcher, and I don't have it. Oh well. I'm just going to mark it with a pen. I can draw all over this paper as much as I want. So this is my center back of my waistline, and just marking my center back. Center back of my. Now, even though I'm all curly, I can put down my grain line on my center back and then just kind of line everything up from there. This paper is really wide and it just fits on there, and I'm going to need as much on both sides as I can. Yes, I could work on this as a half pattern. That's probably a smarter idea. Yeah, I'll work on this as a half pattern and then I'll scale it out. Big rulers. I have big rulers there. My other big ruler. I'll use this big ruler. I know this edge right next to me is not straight because I just cut it and I know it is in fact not straight. So I'm going to give myself, I know this edge is straight, I know this edge is not straight. I'm going to line up this edge on here and give myself a full grain line all the way across here. And then I'll work on the back half. I'm not using pencil because I don't want the dust to get on my project. This pen's not quite dark enough for you guys to see, but it's better than nothing. I have a green pen over here. Let me use that. Excuse me. I don't want that. Okay. Pen. Straight of grain. Gonna label it my center back, and this side has all my taping. This side is a cleaner edge to trace. No, it has a tail there. I'll use my tape side. That way I know it has all my contouring correctly. Dan Joe's Junk says, I wonder if the Odin's live stream is still set to go with all the recent storm activity and we're calling him in. We'll just have to see. Yep, we'll have to see because now he's in the Department of Water Resources. And so every time there's a big water event, he's one of their resources. So we'll see. I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to go live today because the weather's getting pretty gray outside. And there's a storm a brewing for sure, but we'll see. All right. Line up this pattern from T to T. Let's use this to hold it all flat and together. Okay. I don't want to peek in my center back, but this is a curved seam. Actually, I'm going to add height to this side, and I'm not going to add anything to this side. So I'm going to give myself room as opposed to working myself into a corner. How many of you guys have done that? Line up all the puzzle pieces, make sure everything's straight. Okay, so for the first 1/4 of an inch, I'm going to go out completely straight. With circles or any curved surface, you want, when you start cutting in the center or your starting spot. You want to go straight before you start curving, because then you'll avoid having a weird point. That is a nice curve. Now, since for this one, I'm going significantly higher than the shoulder. This one, I went lower than the shoulder, so it is here. It's below the shoulder, so I didn't have to pattern the top of the armhole in this version. But for the blue bodice, I want to go higher. So I may be adding something to the top of the shoulder. So the pattern's going to change at the armhole. The armhole position's not going to change, but I have to accommodate having it above the shoulder versus below the shoulder. My donuts are in the way. Shh, donuts. Stay. Okay. Make sure we're all lined up where we need to be. Oops. Now I have my pattern piece. Ignore this line, it'll be gone soon. Just in case. You know, we're not using these lines. Not wasting paper though, because don't waste paper. Oh, you like my dingle hopper? Thank you. Okay. Away. Now I need to add my height. I think I want to do the 4 inches. This is 3.5 inches. I want to go full 4 inches. I'll use this ruler, I like it better. Not adding anything to this side. I'm only adding to this side. And I get to square up from this in front. So right here, I cut off just a tiny bit because it interfered with the shoulder, with the arm, like it cut off into the shoulder. and was uncomfortable right here. Like it knocked just a little bit. So I'm probably going to need to carve it out and around here. So there's going to have to be some, problem area. Not a big problem, but I do know that there's going to be mobility issues here. Not that people really need to do crazy things, but just knowing that that is going to be somewhere where a joint knocks on and continuing this. So it's probably going to be somewhere in here. I don't know yet. I'm going to have to get this cut out and on the dress form, and I have my extra arm right there. But yes. Welcome, Austin Lips. Good morning, Felicia. My mom will be taking the envelope to the post office today. We were busy a couple days. I understand. I get it. I don't think I even have any stamps in my house, to tell you the honest truth. Wolverine Scratch, I made it. Welcome, Wolverine Scratch. Austin Lips, nice hair today, Felicia. Thank you. I just kind of tied it in a knot on top of my head, so it probably will fall out, but I'm enjoying it. It's comfortable, it's out of the way, and we'll see if it stays. All right, keep that curve going. Okay, extend this. Right, okay. This is my center front. I'm writing that extra big so you guys can see it. This is my center back. My grain line, I'll draw that in just to give reference points, because when you get into three-dimensional space, you need a compass to look at. All right. I think I can cut it out. Yes, I think. Use these scissors. These are my paper scissors. Okay. Okay. I'm going to roll this the other way so that I'm not fighting this curve the entire time. Just for a moment, I'll fight it. my iron. I may pull that out once I get it cut out. Get as much bulk off as possible. Has anyone watched Avatar 2? Wondering if it's any good? I have not yet. Neither has Diana's junk. Oh, nice. Wolverine Scratch is traveling from Qatar to Istanbul. Nice. What time is it for you? Does this time work better for people? I know it's kind of early for me, but I function better in the morning. I am changing my schedule around, so I have a little bit of flexibility right now. But I like that. Wolverine Scratch says, Felicia, more precise with scissors than Freddy Krueger. Yes. I actually really, I feel like the video game character whose scissor skills have improved. You know, you just get more skill points. I've upgraded my scissor skill points to a place where I can really trust them. Like I can eyeball things really well. But that's because I made a lot of mistakes. It's okay. Big Bob's Props, it's 5 p.m. It is 9 a.m. here, so okay, that's good to know. And then Wolverine Scratch is telling me time in military time, so it's going to take me math to figure it out. It's going to be 1802 in Istanbul and 1902 in Qatar. I'll make the cut. So I don't want to cut that down. Okay, I am going to raise this armhole to see the section that I technically would be cutting out, but I'm not yet. If I follow this line, or if I follow this. Okay, I have a pattern piece I can show you now. Ta-da! Look what I did. This is my center back. I made a CB. It's nice and ugly, but it's big so you guys can see it. And then this is my center front. As you can guess, this is the armhole. See how there's a couple dotted lines? I nicked off a corner right here for fitting purposes. I don't really remember what those fitting purposes are, but as soon as I get up on that mannequin, I'm going to find out like that. And then, oh yeah. So I have it kind of marked, pre-marked out. All right, I need this mannequin back. So I'm going to have to take this off. Let me just okay. Bruno. You're blending in with those pillows, quite cute. Austin Lips, happy birthday to your brother. He's turning 18. Welcome to adulting. It sounds funner when you're a kid. But hey, nobody's going to tell you not to eat all the ice cream now. Good question, Dan Does Junk. So is that now high enough to tuck under the yellow part? Now to help with support it. Okay, the yellow part is the collar. I'm just raising the collar, so the collar is going to go higher on it. It's not changing the support structure at this point. But the collar is going to change because now I've added, because a top or bottom of the cone, but there's this side of the cone versus this side of the cone. As I extend it, is going to get longer at this end. And so the pattern that I had for that yellow part, the collar, is now not the right size because it was sized for this part of the pyramid, not this part of the pyramid that's wider. So the pattern's changed and I have to reflect that in that pattern. So, Wolverine Scratch, why is that mannequin screaming Audrey Hepburn at me? Because she has the Breakfast at Tiffany's diamonds is my guess. Her name's Kira. The name of the mannequin, by the way. Not that I think every normal person names their mannequin. Here's my front side back. Here's my center front. Here's my I have pins. I'm just going to stab this directly onto my mannequin. You can see the lines, the style lines. You can actually feel them. Really nice thing about foam is that if you don't sand the seams, you can really see them, and sometimes that's a good thing. I think I might have to add a little bit to the back. I might. I did it with the curve, so my lines you guys can't see, but I can completely see them right in here. And use this. Interesting. I'm gonna go with that one. Okay. But I do think that I may have to come in here. Okay. I have my marks. You guys can't see them because they're on the inside, where I can see where this armhole is interacting with that piece of paper. So, let me show you. Spooky, you're gonna get that for me? Thank you. No, don't go sit on that fabric. Over. Magnet. There, stay. I love the magnet edges of this table and this magnet pin cushion. It's my favorite. All right. Marks I just made. Top of my shoulder. I like the way that this armhole fits for the higher collar, but I'm going to have to, like I cut this little bit off, I'm going to have to cut this little bit off in order to comfortably fit front part of the shoulder. So since the last time I've seen him, but I haven't seen him since the live stream. On the Discord, he's been showing that he has made progress in the mound of his studio, so that's really good news. That's really good news because that got crazy there for a second. So, yay! But I should see him next Sunday, so tune in for that live stream. Austin, how's your day going today, Felicia? It's good. I'm up early. I'm here. It's a rainy, gray day. I'm nice and comfy. And I'm getting stuff done because I'm not having to stress about, oh, wait, should I do that on the live stream? I can just do whatever I'm going to do on the live stream today and then do my hand stitching when I do the boring stuff on my own time. All right. So I am going to use this line right here. And I'm going to extend this. Trying to think of what shape I need this to be. I have all my, I only need to go up here. I'm keeping this up here. More space equals more movement. A tighter armhole means also more movement. Spooky. He's attacking the curtains and it's adorable, but it adds those little claw snags where he claws at the curtains. And I'm tired of snags. They're not as cute. Oh well. Dando's junk. I'm conditioned to wake up before 6 a.m. every day. I used to. My wake up time was in the 5 a.m.s. I haven't had to do that in a few months, which has been nice. But yeah, the 6 a.m.s. How do I want this one to look? I want my armpit was here. And then I liked that space. Something like that. I think this is a good one. Yeah. Let me try cutting out this circle. If anything, I can cut it bigger. In the front, in the back. actually going to fit really nicely, I think. So I know this armhole works for me because this was designed based off of my armhole. I know this weird shape works. So hopefully there's enough here that stays that way. Yeah. That should work. And then the collar piece, we'll do based off of this. But before I continue doing this, this is annoying me. I have to iron it. It's just, I'm done dealing with the curling. Oh, look it, somebody borrowed my ironing board. It's okay. It's a little toasty now. There's my iron. Oh, if you got this stuff on your iron from somebody, from the melting and the starching and the stuff, wet cotton rags or towels, just get the towel soaking wet, and then get the iron as hot as it'll go, and then it'll clean it up, and then you won't. That's an actual burn and stuff, but if it starts to be an issue, you don't have to deal with it. Okay, let that heat up a little bit. How are you guys doing? Wolverine Scratch, Felicia has a fork in her hair. It's called a dingle hopper. Is that dinner date gone wrong? No, it's a dingle hopper. It's just kind of holding those braids together. Dan does jump, so like steam cleaning it. Exactly. So starch is sugar. It's actually kind of sweet smelling like caramel when you're sewing with it. And that can get into the little holes and it can start to just make a mess in your sewing projects if you're not careful, if you let it get out of hand. Because if you're really good about starching shirts, it builds up a lot. At the costume shop, it would get ridiculous. And so that's where we did went through the internet and found all the solutions to clean the iron. And the one that worked by far the best is just getting a towel wet and just as hot as you can and just steam, just getting the layers of gunk off that way. My mother used to rub wax on the iron to clear it up. Interesting. I wonder if it burned away because I know wax does burn. It's a lubricant. I would still kind of take it over a clean dry towel before putting a hot wax onto a clean fabric. Pressing cloths are your friends. Like I could see that working. Different solutions do help, but I also can see it adding to the buildup. I didn't turn off the steam. Don't steam paper. You can iron paper, don't steam paper. I am off, okay. Austin lives, I wake around 10 a.m., 11, 12. Sometimes I wake up around 11 or 12. Well, what area are you in, Austin? Relative to the West Coast that I am on. I think it's fascinating, the geography of it, where everybody's at. Wolverine Scratch, my school uniforms used to smell like Madame Tussauds. Probably were nice and crunchily crisp too. Yeah. Starch smells good. I really, really like starching when I iron. It just has this, when Jasmine would sit and iron all the motifs that have been freshly starched, it smells like candy. Like just, it's a sweet little floral, fresh scent. I don't know. It's rather pleasant. I can imagine the wax smelling like a birthday candle, but that's not bad. Now, what if your mom used scented candle wax? Austin Lips, Ohio, Hamilton. Oh, nice. Okay. Getting an idea of where everybody's kind of. Oh, that curve is gone, and now I'm not fighting it. There's still a little bit, but it's not like. Psh. I'm about to do this collar part, and I really just don't want to be fighting a curve right now. So much better. So much better. My life doesn't have to be a Three Stooges skit all the time. That's what I feel like when everything's like curving and dropping. It's gonna fall, that's gonna fall, this is gonna curve. Now it's nice and flat. Before I put the iron away, I need to cut another piece of paper so I can do this collar piece here that I'm gonna do. Yeah. Cheers. Oh, that's good. Danda's Junk. I'm currently at work in Stockton, which reminds me Odin's Monday live streams when we'd have to watch them while at work. Oh, nice. Yeah, Mondays was my fault because that's the day I had off and like to have as long of a weekend as possible. But then Sundays worked better. Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes the Monday worked better, sometimes the Sunday worked better. I want enough room for a curve, so I don't go about that long. Okay. Yeah, let me iron this tube flat. I really don't want to fight this. Okay, Devin, Wolverine Scratch. I'm gonna link you to a channel. It's a German lady who designs designer outfits with charity shop clothing. I like that kind of fashion. It definitely goes after my heart. I feel like we have way too much garbage in this world. And it's so much nicer than what people used to have as far as fashion goes. That is awesome. Big box props. I just got fired from my day job for having time off sick. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But hopefully your mental health improves. Maybe it wasn't the best of places if they were willing to fire you over being sick. I wish you all the best. May you get better jobs. Show them by doing better. Best revenge is to live your best life. Good vibes going out. Danda's Junk. I'll be going to SAC Anime Spring on Saturday only, which is next weekend already. second. I haven't. My brain has not even been on that. Oh. Wolverine Scratch. My mother gave me a rule to get fired from a job all you want, but never get fired from your wife. Makes sense. You know, they'll replace you at work in 5 minutes after you're gone, but your family can never replace you. So, makes sense to me. I know, it's nice and boring, but if X is flat, then I'm not going to be fighting this curve like a stooge, like one of the Three Stooges. At least that's what I imagine. Every time it curls up on me. Like I am a cartoon character. I know this is completely not, I hate it when I tell people I have bad news and they're like, well, it's okay. At least there's this shining rainbow, which I genuinely do appreciate, but I know it can be weird. But at least when you got fired, you have ChatGPT to rewrite your resume. Make me sound really impressive, please, and thank you. Oh, we have DJ Stumpy in the house. Hi, nice to see you on your channel. I have a question, which you may have a video on. It's how to make patterns from existing clothes that have darts in, please. I'm a beginner, second project. I do not have a video on that already. It has darts, not style lines. So mathematically speaking, shoulder to apex, apex to waist, shoulder to waist at side. The dart is the difference between those two measurements. So let's say shoulder to apex is 9, apex to waist is 5. These are just random numbers I'm pulling off of the top of my head because these are actual numbers. And then shoulder to waist at side is about 13.5, which is some completely numbers that I've run into. So 9 plus 5 would be 14, 15.5. I mean 13 by what? 13.5, 14, 13 by 4. That'd only be a half-inch dart right there, kind of a thing. So it's a good rule of thumb mathematically wise to figure out your dart at the side seam, the difference between this measurement and this measurement. It might not be that much. It might be a lot. Everybody's different. I've seen it like kind of be in the negative before, the same, but the dart placement is shoulder to apex and you want your dart at the apex. Copying patterns, you kind of trace where your shoulder to shoulder is and clean up your lines, and then you have to know where your I think I probably have to do a video on that. That's a really good one. Okay. One more attempt to make this flat, and then I'll start drafting that shoulder pattern. I've been here at doing this, I've been patterning for about an hour now, but it takes longer to do everything when I'm talking to you guys and doing it, but that's the fun part. All right. Okay. I know this line is straight right here because this is the side of my paper. So I'm going to mark this edge as my center front edge for my collar. Wolverine scratch. That ironing board seemed more toasting than Subway. I know, it was perfect, and I let someone use it over the weekend, and now it's burnt. Yeah. I was thinking whether I was going to make my own ironing board cover, which I do not want to do. I was going to see if I can find one at the thrift store or just pretend to ignore it. I don't think I like the ignoring it one, so we'll see. DJ Stumpy, yeah, it's a dart that's a suit jacket that I'm wanting to make an Imperial Officer style jacket. However, mine is Reamer of Dead Dwarfs, so it's slightly different. Thanks for answering. Okay, question. DJ Stumpy is using a jacket from a charity shop to create the pattern. Do you want to keep that jacket, or is it just a sacrificial jacket? Like, is it like an ugly one that's just dead and has moth holes all over it and there's just no saving it? Or is it a jacket that I actually particularly really like the fit and I like the color and I wear it for other things, but I want to use it for this costume? Because that changes things, because you can rip it apart and just completely copy those pattern pieces. You'll see the seam allowance that they use. You'll also have look at the darts, you'll find the poke holes where they mark the dots. You'll find all of that. So ripping it apart with a seam ripper and just taking your time to do it nicely. And then you really only need half of it because it's a symmetrical garment, I'm assuming, being a suit jacket. So yeah. But if you can't rip it apart and you want to keep it, then you have a more mapping to do. And you're going to want these two things. I feel like those Egyptians. Gotta have these. What's this? This is a clear ruler with a grid on it. Makes it super easy for straightening out your lines, adding the seam allowance, and kind of seeing what you're transferring. This is a number 17 French curve. It is perfect for cleaning up armholes and slightly curved lines of waistbands, princess seams, etc., shoulders, sleeves. So when you get it down on the paper, then you can clean up your lines using these. So yeah. Anyways, let me now put this pattern here. Okay. Big box props, time for food. Hope you're all still here when I get back. I want to finish this collar before I end the live stream, but I'm not going to be too much longer, so go enjoy your snack. Catch you on the replay. Ah! Okay. I was like, well, I have to write center front here because, no, this was my collar piece. Okay. I wanted, that collar, I believe, is 3.5 inches plus seam allowance. Reference. Here's my original pattern for that collar. So the front goes this way. That is going to change things. That is going to change things. Patterning in my head. I changed my shoulder, so I changed my shoulder. Actually, I think I can use my same pattern. I'm just doing this live, thinking this through, figuring this out. Yeah, I think that might work. Put it down and see if the puzzle pieces come back together and not just a fluke. Oh my goodness, Dan does junk. Someone just bumped their car against my office wall while trying to park. Hit the whole office. Oh Lord. Stay safe there. Whole green scratch. Felicia looks like Wyona Ryder with that haircut. I'm kind of enjoying it. It's holding together. I thought it was going to fall apart already. There's junk. It was just a tap, but still rattled everything. Well, still the whole questioning your mortality comes into things. Could he have hit harder? No, Jesus. I'm trying to freak you out. Oh, I'm just going to get back to patterning. All right. I think this is going to work. I think this is going to work. Tape and pins. Tape and pins. Let me just double check that this is going to work. Okay, let me move my table just ever so slightly because look at how cute Bruno and Spooky are all cuddled together. So cute. Yes, you're adorable, Bruno. I love you. All right. Okay. Center front. None of this has seam allowances as of right now. It's just figuring out the shape. It feels like an evil villain queen, if I ever saw a color that did. Yeah. I'm really liking how tall this is. Yes. Oh, I'm so happy. Sing it down together. Sorry. When it's in my head, it's in my head. It's not actually done yet. But, okay. Let me just raise you guys up ever so slightly so y'all can see. The top of my head. No Bruno though. I know he's more interesting. Okay. Center front goes here. Okay, I just split open the armhole because I like the exaggeration and size of this collar. And I'm more trying to make it fit here. These pins are pushing it down, so it's a little wonky, but the actual edges themselves line up really nicely. But on the back, there's a gap between where the collar and the back piece should be. So I'm going to fill that in with some blue tape and then transfer my marks. And then I'm just going to use this collar pattern because I like it. And yay, not doing a second collar pattern. DJ Stumpy, is everyone safe, Dan? Yeah, is everyone safe, Dan? No issue, just rattled the wall, damaged the car, if anything. Okay, DJ Stumpy, is this first time on your live stream? Do you have a sketch of what you're designing in your head? Or is it in your head? Either way, great to see the whole process. I do have a sketch and a reference image. This is a commission piece for the photographer Raul Gonzo. He gave me a couple reference images. We went out and shopped for fabric, and I have a sketch that I'm working off of that I do not have in front of me at the moment, but the sketch is the pink one. The blue one is its sister, not its twin. So it's similar, but not the same. And the skirt's a little different. And that one has no sketch. That one is something we just more talked about than actually sketched out. So it's a little bit, we'll see where it ends up. There's not a, there's a direction, but not a direct path, if that makes sense. Yes, I have shown it on I have shown the sketch on previous live streams. I don't have it in front of me today. I'm sorry, but I should. I will. Let's see, I want this piece to The part of this that really worries me the most is the patterning part, the construction, the materials. That's not the stressful part. It's really the patterning. Hold on, let me back to my table. See what I'm doing-ish. Is that a good angle? Try not to step on spooky. Okay. Center back. All right. I patched in a little bit, but I split it here and I patched in here. It's interesting. Although it, from the spread, this is going to line up with this at the collar. It's crazy. Patterning's so interesting to me. Yeah, but it's a cone. It's definitely a cone. Okay. I think I'm in a good stopping spot mentally. I can get this cut out of stuff and move forward, but I'm in a really good spot because I know that that pattern's going to work. The collar pattern's going to work. Yeah. Chewing on things in front of you guys. Hi. Mentally chewing. Austin Limps is doing good today, Felicia. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. And it looks like I've got some catching up to do. Yes, I've done. This is my 6th live stream working on this. It's been a slow process. I've been hand stitching and doing it all. I did not pattern the first part of it on the live stream because I just felt a little chaotic while I was patterning. I was like running around all over the house, like bouncing off the walls, going, what about this? Couldn't be tethered to one place while I was originally patterning it. But now that I have the base pattern, I feel much better about this next rendition of it or version of it. So yes, I'm kind of excited. This thing's gonna, like, it's slow getting going, but then all of a sudden it's going to be done before you know it, because most projects work that way in general. Awesome. Spooky blends in with your hoodie. Spooky blends in with everything. He knows what color he is, and he loves to hide in the shadows. And he wonders why I trip over him all the time, because he just like sits and is a void, and I love him so much, but he definitely does disappear. So I think I'm going to call it today. I am going to do my hand stitching for the center front and the little bits on the outer piece, not live, because it doesn't seem like the most exciting of entertainment to me. But I'm going to try and be live again in the mornings. I'm not going to promise tomorrow morning, because as soon as I do, then I can't. But I'm going to try this different time, see if it works out better for y'all. And yeah, I'll be back working on that project. I got to get it done. I have to get it done this week. It has to get done. It doesn't, but it does. There is a deadline on it. But thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support and the company while I'm working on this project. Safe travels. Stay safe. Dan does junk. No getting smooshed today. I know. Hope you're awake now. And Bruno, you ready to say good night or good day? All right, long goodbye over. Thank you guys. Bye.